What's up guys, BlueLycanroc here, and welcome back to the Sea of Thieves Adventure Log.
We shall sail together.
A series on the channel where I will be providing a guide for the latest adventure, along with exploring a bit of the lore along the way. If you want to catch up on the story so far, a link to the previous episodes have been compiled into a playlist, and is shown up here in the info card. So sit back, relax, and put that pineapple on the stove. Let's gather around the campfire together and share a story. Today, we are diving into the newest Sea of Thieves adventure, A Hunter's Cry. After the events of the last adventure, Merrick is still trapped in the Sea of the Damned, and time is quickly running out. He knows way too much than he realizes. And if the information that he knows gets out there, the Dark Brethren will become unstoppable, and they will take over the ferrymen. To stop them in their tracks, we gotta save Merrick. And to do so, start by talking to Lorena, where she tells us to meet with the Pirate Lord on the docks.
Another pirate to answer the hunter's cry. I know you have questions, but all will become clear in time. I'm sure you've heard tales of a castaway with the power to send pirates between worlds. Such a power should not be wielded lightly. However, circumstances leave me no alternative. Now that the veil of the ancients has finally been restored, the hand of the Pirate Lord can guide you beyond the horizon.
And with that, using the power of the Veil of the Ancients, the gateway to the Sea of the Damned is now open, where we can finally come face to face with the Dark Brethren and save Merrick. There's only one thing, however. The path to get there will not be easy. We will need the help of two other crews to fight to the top of this twisted Sea Dog's tavern. One thing I want to point out before we continue. In the portal, the game is actually actively matchmaking us with two other crews, some of which may be halfway through the adventure by the time you spawn in, which sadly is a downside to this public event style of adventure. But let's say you get lucky and you start from the beginning, where you are the first one through the portal in that particular instance. We will continue reading from the adventure log from that said point. Just want to get that out there. Upon arriving at the Twisted Sea Dog's Tavern, we can see one core difference between the real Sea Dog's Tavern and this ghostly version of it. We can see three lighthouses, forming a triangle formation around the island. As the Pirate Lord said, these are the key to lighting the path forward. The Dark Brethren's ghost fleet will be guarding the lighthouses surrounding the Sea Dog's Tavern. A combination of ghost ships and phantoms await you as you sail closer. Make sure to scuttle at least 3 ghost ships to get progress towards this adventure's exclusive title. There are no journals this time, luckily. Just make sure you knock out those ships, because they could be easily missed. The Brethren have closed the path forward with the power of that mysterious staff, causing large chunks of the Sea Dog's Tavern to disappear entirely into phantom platforms that will only be revealed with the Flame of Souls. And that's all fine and good and all, but where do we even get the Flame of Souls? And is it powerful enough to light those giant braziers we see up there? No. For that, we will need the lighthouses. Start your journey by traveling to the Eastern Lighthouse, the closest one to the portal. If it hasn't been lit up already, of course. And right off the dock is the key to lighting up this place, the Flame of Souls. Once taken, we are ambushed by waves of phantoms. As we're fighting off those waves and waves of phantoms, make sure to light the 2 braziers that block the entrance to the lighthouse. Lighting these will allow us to climb into that tower. Meanwhile, we are continuing to be ambushed by phantoms as we climb, so don't put away that sword just yet. Once the lighthouse is lit and the phantoms are slain, the beacon shines down on the tavern for us to move around. Just like in a pirate's life, the lighthouse beam is able to be moved and rotated, giving us the freedom to move it around as needed to light up that hidden brazier right down here. It's a bit out of the way, but I will be showing the locations of all of the braziers you need to light to successfully climb the Twisted Sea Dog's Tavern. Depending on if the other crews show up by now or not, the other 2 lighthouses may be ignited by now. But if they aren't, go ahead and battle your way up each one. The process is the same as the first one, running up the long twisted staircases all the way to the top. You getting dizzy yet? 'Cause I sure am. The next step is to light the large braziers located all across the Twisted Sea Dog's Tavern. I've already shown the location of the first beacon, but here are the remainder of the locations for each lighthouse. Some of them are pretty well hidden. Keep in mind while you're looking, the smaller beacons that have a phantom-like effect on them can't be lit up by lighthouses. You and the other crews will have to light those by hand with your lantern on your way up to the top of the Sea Dog's Tavern, doing the familiar obstacle course, with a twist. You only have a certain amount of time to complete this adventure. As the Pirate Lord said on the way into the Sea of the Damned, keeping the gateway open like he is doing for you right now is very dangerous, because something sinister might get through that portal and into the living world. To prevent this from happening, you and the other crews are limited to a time of 20 minutes. Full disclaimer, I have only done the adventure twice at the time of this recording. The time may not be exactly 20 minutes, but it is definitely around that. Just wanted to get that out there. If you and your other crews are unsuccessful in rescuing Merrick before the time runs out, all crews are immediately recalled through the tunnels of the damned, back to the Sea of Thieves, with the gateway closing right behind you. So make sure to make haste in this perilous rescue mission. If you are successful and make it to the top, you will come face to face with the Dark Brethren, and at long last, Merrick can be rescued. Kind of.
It's over, Warsmith. Merrick is free, and you have nowhere left to run.
Over? Hardly. Know this, Hunter. There is no escape from the Dark Brethren. Not for you, and not for those you hold dear. Wherever you sail, my blade will be waiting.
Well, we've accomplished all we can in this gloomy old place. Merrick, my friend, I'd say you're long overdue for a trip home on the Ferry of the Damned.
I don't think I can go home. Not anymore. You heard what she said. Them brethren lot want what's in me head, and I won't stop until I spill the beans. And it's not just me. I've got a family to think about. For their sake, I need to disappear.
If that's really what you think best, then I may be able to help. But we can discuss that later. It's time to get back to where we belong.
As much as I hate to say it, Merrick's right. Because if he does go back to the living world through the Ferry of the Damned, he will be continued to be hunted down by the Dark Brethren, ruthlessly. The secrets he holds are much too dangerous to risk getting loose. What secrets does he know exactly? Well, I mean, if I told you right now, they wouldn't be secrets, would they? The Pirate Lord takes us back to the living world, with no damage to our ship. Besides, of course, the damage dealt by any potential pirates that aren't willing to cooperate with you on your rescue mission. Believe me, they're out there. But we have one more mission to complete. You see, Merrick isn't returning to the land of the living with us. He is most likely going to be joining the ghosts over at Athena's Fortune, where he will be safe. But most importantly, he will remain dead. Maybe we'll see a kind of expansion to the area where he'll probably set up shop. Potentially behind that waterfall? We'll have to wait and see. Lorena fills us in on the final part of the mission, to deliver a letter to Merrick's wife, Sarek. A simple task that you must complete before this adventure can reach its conclusion. Besides the thrill of the hunt, Merrick's family means the most to him, and this is his final goodbye to his wife.
What's this, love? A letter, is it? But this is Merrick's handwriting. What could he possibly... To my dearest Sarek.
Me ship, me legs, me eye. I've lost a lot of things to the sea over the years, but never me heart, 'cause that's always belonged to you. When we got married out here, I swore I'd do everything I could to protect you, even with my life if I had to. Starting today, that's a promise I'm keeping. If you're reading this, that means I'm dead, and staying that way. But don't be sad, 'cause that just means I can love you forever. Always yours.
Merrick.
This story arc that the adventure log tells ends here. Merrick's legacy will live on forever in the lore books, and of course in the Hunter's Call itself. Display that portrait with pride, Captain. You've earned it. After this, the pages in the adventure log go foggy once again. So thank you all for joining me for another exciting tale of an adventure on the Sea of Thieves. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to give this video a like and consider subscribing to never miss another upload. And as always, I will see you out on the seas.